G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Here we see, hanging up in the kids' bunk room, the lining of the Evel Knievel suit, and then we have the Evel Knievel suit itself. I think it was something like $375 for the jacket, and probably another $250, $275 for the trousers. And the idea is, if you fall off the motoring cycle, you skate up the road and you don't get any gravel rash. Well, I haven't put that one to the test. But here's the thing, when you're on an electric motorbike, there's another part of the equation. Sometimes the battery might have a temper tantrum. If the battery has a temper tantrum, the first thing you got to do, switch the key off while you're riding to the edge of the road, pulling up on somewhere flat enough that you can put the kickstand down while you jump off, pull the key out of the lock, use the same key in the lock on the battery case, which looks like a petrol tank. Then lift up that case, reach in over the top of the battery, which is presumably venting smoke because it's having a convection runaway. On the other side of the battery, there's a little tiny weeny red switch, and you've got to turn that off. Now the battery can't talk to the motorbike, but in that plug on top of the battery, there's half the wiring to connect up the two piles of batteries to turn your 30-volt battery into a 60-volt battery. So now what you've got to do is reach onto that plug, push the safety switch down while pulling the plug up to disconnect about 6 pins all at once. Now the battery has only got two piles with half the overall voltage it can command. That should slow down your convection runaway long enough that you can pick the thing up and take it away and put it somewhere outside the motorbike on the barest, flattest bit of ground you can find, and then go back to the motorbike and reach into the pannier bag and get the fire extinguisher and then return to the battery ready to put out the grass fire when the battery finally does go poop or whatever. Once you're in that position, then you might have time to call Triple O and invite the fire brigade to come and pass their opinion. So it just occurs to me that 100% synthetic, which when it's in a fire situation is guaranteed to shrink as it melts and then ignite, and then the burning plastic cooks itself into. I don't think that's a great idea, but I couldn't afford at the time $500 or $700 for an actual leather jacket. However, yesterday I went for my 100th ride on the motorbike at 3,817 kilometres when I got back from that ride. And do you see what's draped over the top of the bike? Presumably made of water buffalo hide or something. It's quite heavy and it creaks a lot. It says it's an RJ Quality Productions registered trademark, size 18, made in Pakistan. Not quite perfectly unmarked. There is just a little tiny bit of scuffing on that right arm, and I had to sew up the lining of one pocket where somebody had, I don't know, held a joint in their hand and stuck it in the pocket, or maybe they just poked their finger through it. It's wildly bloody pretentious. I'm going to call it a Marlon Brando Fantasy leather motorcycle jacket. It's so bloody new that nobody has ever polished it, so you've still got the bare cut ends of the leather on the shoulder epaulets, because yeah, like I'm sure we're going to need them, but anything other than pure affectation. But yeah, it's actually designed for falling off motorbikes. It's got this pleat here over the top of your collarbone, your shoulder blade. So you've got 1, 2, 3 layers of buffalo hide over your shoulder blades for better gravel rash protection. And you know what? What do you think it cost me? Bearing in mind that the synthetic one is guaranteed to put you into a burns unit if ever you try to pull the battery out of that during an emergency, was $375. Guess who got himself a rather period correct Marlon Brando Fantasy for $150 in a second-hand shop. And it actually fits. Couldn't go past it. Pretty hot to ride in summer, but if I have to play First Aid Rural Fire Service response to a convection runaway on a motorcycle battery. I think this is going to be better than the other one. And I'll just have to invest in some dead animal skin gloves, because that's the bit that's going to go in there and have to do things. So yeah, I think that's kind of a little bit interesting. A Marlon Brando Fantasy jacket. Highly pretentious, but it doesn't scare the wildlife. They're still prepared to talk to me, even the boys, as well as the girls, even the little ones. Yes, I'll feed you. Yes, I'll feed you. Here we go. You too? Come on. That's it. That's a boy. Yes. Yes, you're a big, brave young kangaroo, aren't you, eh? Sissy want some too, eh? Oh, what's the matter, eh? Did Sissy take it away from you? Eh? Did she steal it from you? Eh? What sort of great big alpha male are you? No, that's a wood chip. Look under your other foot. That's it. Eh? You're stealing bread from little baby brothers. Not supposed to do that, are you? Eh? You're not supposed to do that. Anyway, Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.